Hello everybody, welcome to Nintendo Expansion Pass here on Boss Rush Games. I'm your host and Not Excited Eddie Reed. Joining me is the one, the only bossman himself, Mr. Corey Dirrig. Hello, good sir.
Hey Ed, how's it going? It's pretty early for us. It's a ripe old 10 o'clock.
Yes, it is a weekend episode in the sense.
Some kind of I don't know. There's something gross in my eye. Like I don't know. I don't want to know. Anyways,
was it slimy?
Yeah. I don't know what it was. It's fine. It's okay. I'm alive. Nothing to see here. Nothing. We're all good here. Thank you. How are you?
I'm actually doing good. Everybody, this week Xbox had a developers direct where they showed off Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, Hellblade 2, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Avowed, Arbor, and a special showcase for Visions of Mana, which was previously shown at the Game Awards.
It's a pretty looking game.
It's beautiful.
So I know our topic is kind of revolving around, yes, we're going to talk a lot about Xbox on this episode of Expansion Pass, but it's in a Nintendo context, right? But
yes.
Can we just talk about the developer direct real quick and how good it was? Because
it was.
I really haven't gotten to talk about it in depth with anyone yet because we don't. We have talked about it immensely by the time this episode comes out. But
yes,
as of this recording, I haven't recorded any podcasts since the developer direct. And I've been thinking about recording a video, which might be up by the time you see this already.
Also, everybody, please go to bossrush.net. Corey has did a phenomenal write-up, a full rundown. Do give it a read. It's so good.
I wouldn't say it's good. It was just, hey, this is what was announced if you missed it in some trailers. But it was fun to write because I actually got to be excited for Xbox for once and see people share in the excitement. It wasn't just, sometimes as Xbox fans, you get discouraged because you get excited and other people are just like, oh, it's just another game that they announced that's not coming out. And it's like, well, okay, fair, but also these every single game in this trailer had a 2024 date on it. So
yes,
which was exciting because that means there's 6 first-party games from Xbox this year, which is like a Nintendo type year.
Right. And with the developers direct, it's kind of like Nintendo's Indie Direct where they have developers come and talk about the game and give a little bit of a breakdown, but with the developer direct from Xbox, they went into, deep territory of explaining the game, how the team worked together, how they brought ideas, the music, and like the Avowed cover, that screen cover, if that is the case of it, the game case cover of it. Dude, I want a poster of that so bad. It looks beautiful. Avowed looks beautiful.
Avowed, the cover art or the key art that they showed off after the
yes,
after the thing was fire. That key art was incredible. We need how the Xbox has the dynamic backgrounds on the Series X and the Series S. We need that colored. We need that dynamic background.
Oh, I'm making it my background. Was if it drops, I'm making that my background. I'll pay Xbox for it if I need to. Because that mug is beautiful. And I know there was a comment that people was just like they're talking more about the key art than the game itself, and I can understand some people's concerns, probably of the gameplay. It's nothing new or anything.
No, I mean it looks like if you played the Outer Worlds or if you played, any kind of Fallout or Elder Scrolls style experience, it looks a lot like that. I know the game itself is going to be different, but the gameplay itself looks very similar to that. If you play the Outer Worlds, it's a fantasy version of the Outer Worlds.
Yes, but the art team, and I think it was like the head director of art or the color and or stuff like that. Like just showing the world off, I was like, "Ooh, this lighting is so good." This every scene they were showing the color palette was balanced, and
Hmm.
I was just so shocked. I was just like, yeah, I could understand why people are talking about the art and the key art and all of this because this stuff pops and it looks good and
Hmm.
stuff. And if this is what they're focusing on, because I don't know what engine they're using. I don't know what they did. They took the time out to make this game look beautiful, and I
For
was just
Avowed,
for a vow, and because I
it's
was
unreal.
really
It's
like,
unreal.
it's unreal. Because I was just
Mhm.
like, this is what the Series X needs to showcase off what the system can really do.
Oh, I mean, I didn't think Avowed. I mean, I think it looks great, but I didn't think it was like anything haven't seen before. I think Hellblade is clearly the show piece for
Oh yes,
graphical fidelity. I mean, that game
oh yes.
I showed my wife and my parents came over today, and I know they don't care about games and whatever, and
Mhm.
they're in their 70s, right? They don't care about video games at all. But like,
Yes.
I showed them that Indiana Jones, and they were like, "Wow!" They were like, "Oh, that's a long way from when you were sitting behind the couch playing Mario and Sonic." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's been a while
Technology has
since that
advanced.
too." I also look quite different from that, but
But it's I like from from an artistic because I don't know if you agree with me, Corey. As artists, we're looking at the artwork, at the frame of it, and everything,
Mhm.
and the detail that they put on it. Hellblade does something different, detailing what the Series S could do, as like with motion capturing and just the blending of game of in gameplay and cinematics. Like, and you see how Ninja Theory worked all of that together, to make that game look as beautiful as it is. You know, Hellblade 2 is a darker game compared to um about being a more colorful, rich game. And I think if you're looking for rich colors that a 4K screen could do, or if 60 frames or 120 frames or whatever something could do in movement, I feel like a Valve from Xbox Game Studio and Obsidian really is a good showcase on how to make something pop on that kind of TV. But like, if you want the darkness, the dark tone and everything, I think Hellblade 2 gives you that cinematically.
Mhm. Yeah. Hellblade Hellblade is a an amazing showpiece for the console. I mean, it has been since the very beginning, right? I mean,
Hmm.
it was the game they showed off. It was literally the first game they showed off for the Series X right after they revealed the console at the Game Awards that year, right? What was
Yeah.
it? 2019? The console came out in
They
2020, right? So
yeah, 2019 because it was at the Game
2019.
Awards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because they was
So
just yeah because it's like 5 years in development. Um,
yeah, interesting strategy though. 49.99 with no physical.
yeah, which
A
I'm fine
physical
with that.
a physical is coming later. I think they're going to work with someone like Limited Run or Super Rare
Hmm.
probably to put out a run of this game because they here's the thing. I know people are mad, right? And
Hmm.
initially my knee jerk reaction was like, "Oh, come on. That was like the one game I was aiming to buy physically on
And
Xbox because
and
hold
me
on,
and you
let
talk.
me finish real quick. Let me
Oh,
finish real quick. That was like the first game I was like, oh, man, whatever. I have the first game physically. I don't buy Xbox games physically very much anymore. Just due to the fact that like 90% of the games aren't even on the disc anymore, right? You still have to download something, but um Hellblade is a special game, the first one, extremely special. And I think the second one is going to be just as, or if not even more special, especially
hmm.
since they kind of were like, hey, this is a shorter, narrative driven experience focused on the narrative and, you know, a little bit of the combat and the environmental puzzles. It's going to be about the same length, which is 8 to 10 hours, right? Which is perfect. Um, and Hellblade, as excited as like the hardcore gamer, I guess you would say, or even the hardcore Xbox fan base is for this game, Hellblade's not a franchise like console selling franchise, right?
Right.
It was meant to be a one and done, right? This was Ninja Theory's kind of last hurrah before Microsoft bought them, right? Because they were hemorrhaging money and um I think not having a physical is because this is a prestige title for Microsoft. This is not a 5 million, 10 million seller, right?
Yeah.
This is a prestige title that anybody outside of the gaming sphere doesn't know about, most likely. Um, and so to do a limited, no, I mean, no pun intended, but like a limited run of physical copies after the game comes out, you know, is a smart move by Microsoft. I would love a physical copy, but also I can't support limited run games, so I hope it's not them doing it. But at the same time, like I do hope this game gets a physical run because it is an important game with an important message. Senua is an important character in more ways than just being the quote unquote strong female lead, right? Like
Yeah.
her story is so much more than that. And not to get super personal or anything, but you know, the last couple years have been really hard for me from a mental capacity, and I've kind of been going to doctors and stuff from a mental standpoint, and this game made me feel better about what I've been kind of going through a little bit, and it's got a really good strong kind of message to it. And if you haven't played the first one, it's on Game Pass. If you don't have Game Pass,
I,
it's
I
$2.99 on Steam, on Xbox. I think it's on PlayStation Plus. It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's on Switch. And I
Hmm.
messaged you yesterday. I was just like, when they gave us the date of May 21st, I was just like, I think we need to run through this game like in May. Uh like 2 weeks in May or even April, just like go through
Hmm.
this game and prepare. Cause definitely I'm buying it. And everything. And you're probably gonna play it through Game Pass. Um
Yeah,
and
but
I think
this will be a game I buy. Like I'll play it through Game Pass, but I'll end up
mm,
buying it. You know, unless it's like totally a piece of garbage, right? But like I can't see that.
yeah. No.
Um.
Um the thing I was going to say about like the physical and digital one, because I had messaged you and I had told people I'm like when it originally came out because it was a PS4 exclusive. When it originally came out, it was only digital because
Mhm.
Ninja Theory published it and developed it themselves.
Yeah.
And everybody know the story that like the money that part of the money that they was getting, they was going to research, for and everything. And then when we found out that Microsoft bought Ninja Theory, I think it was still digital at that time, but at some point they did a physical version.
Mhm.
Because we didn't even know that it was a plan for this game to come out on Switch. I don't even think it was in a Nintendo Direct or anything, but I think Microsoft talked about bringing this game to Switch.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
remember how this was revealed for Switch, to be honest.
yeah,
I'm gonna look it up.
because I think after it came to Switch around that time, it got a physical. Because when it released on Xbox, it was still digital, and everything. So I don't know the time frame when it came physical and everything. So after the developer direct, that's when we found out it was going to be a $50 digital game, which I'm fine with. I didn't have no problem with it because of the first game being digital and everything. Um, so and I kind of mentioned I was just like I think most players on Xbox they're going to play this game uh do Game Pass. And there I
Mhm.
think the expectation is that they'll make their money from the PC version and some of us who do buy
Well, it'll be
it
on PC
on
Game Pass
Xbox.
too, though. Unless somebody's like really obsessed with keeping their Steam library together.
and that's what I think. I think it's coming to Steam, but it may come to more because they just
Well,
said
it's
PC.
definitely coming to Steam. It's definitely coming to
Yeah,
Steam.
but
It's all Xbox games are day and date on Steam and the Microsoft PC store. So,
right. But I wonder if Epic Game is going to get it since they're using Unreal.
I
Uh,
mean, I don't know. I don't know if Microsoft games are even on. Hold on. Epic.
yeah, and only reason I bring in Epic into this because it just said PC. Usually if they say Steam in their past announcements for games, it would show Steam on it and stuff. So that's what I was just trying to figure out. I'm like, and I know Windows Gaming, of course, is going to come there. So I was wondering if there's going to be any other subscription service and stuff.
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network and our family of podcasts. Yeah, let me look up something. Yeah,
because I think this. Oh, go ahead.
It doesn't look like Xbox games are on the Epic Games Store
Epic
at
Store.
all.
Okay.
Because I just searched Gears, Forza, Halo, Psychonauts.
Yeah, and most of them are on Steam, and Windows Gaming or PC Game Pass. And so
Yeah,
that's why
I wonder if, I mean, no offense to Epic, but I wonder if I wonder if Microsoft is seeing the same reason with the Epic Store why some people aren't bringing their games to Xbox is they just don't see the cost benefit analysis for them to make that worth it for them, right?
right.
Because, like, I mean, 90% of the players on PC are Steam users, right? I mean, let's
Yes.
be honest. I think 90 is being generous. I think it's more like probably 95, are
Especially with the
mostly
Steam
Steam. So
especially with the Steam Deck being out. I think
I
that
know that,
raised
yeah,
subscription use not subscription users,
I know.
users of Valve, I should
I
say.
know. I mean, I think if Microsoft put Game Pass on Steam, like that would be big for them. I don't know how they would do
Mm-hmm.
that, you know. I mean, it would be the same thing as if like they put it on Nintendo's next console, right? Like it would be a
Yes.
super curated, only first party type thing. Let's tie it into your ultimate subscription, or maybe there's like a platinum subscription that's like $20 a month that you get it on
Yeah.
other platforms outside of whatever, just so they can pay those platforms to have them there, right?
Yes.
Um, so I think it's I don't know. I think 2024 is going to be a great year for Xbox, and if it's not, like we talked about on Nintendo PAL Block, was that PAL Block?
Yeah.
Or was that an expansion pass where we talked about how there's been growing concerns in the Xbox community of Xbox going full third party?
That was our Power Block episode.
Mm-hmm.
We had a good discussion about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I still have growing concerns of that, especially if they don't perform this year in terms of like console and game sales and or Game Pass subscriptions and whatnot.
I
But
feel like they can't afford no delays. Like this year, I think everything that they announced,
I mean, they can
I think
afford it monetarily. It's the zeitgeist, like it being in the conversation. They can't, you know.
yes,
I
because I'm
actually
like,
think May is like really late. I feel like they needed a first quarter game real bad, which I guess would be Towerborn, but like that's not, I mean that's not anything.
because the the
South of
compulsion
Midnight.
get South of Midnight. That's compulsion, right? I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah.
That's
I
rumored to be coming this fall, though.
but that
A lot of reports have said that game's a lot farther along than people think because their previous game, We Happy Few, came out in 2016 or something.
yeah,
Like that game is
I,
old.
yeah, I'm thinking the game is gonna get more of a breakdown this summer at Microsoft's showcase.
I
Because
hope so. That game looks so cool.
I was actually watching their showcase, they last summer showcase for Summer Game Fest. I was watching it a couple of days ago before this recording, and I was just like, man, they still have a lot of stuff on there. Like because of Stalker 2, if that hits in September, if um if Indiana Jones hit around, I'm thinking Indiana Jones is hitting around October, November, and stuff. Like if they hit the dates on here, it's a
Hmm.
big year for
Yeah,
Microsoft.
I mean,
Um,
you look at this first party lineup. Plus, you have an ESO expansion coming out this year. Um, plus you have like Halo Infinite's going through a major multiplayer overhaul, which is really good for them. You have
yeah,
new season.
what was the Halo Infinite news? I missed it.
Okay, so Halo Infinite, for those who aren't keeping up on Halo at all, which understandably a Nintendo podcast and primarily Nintendo players may not be keeping up on Halo Infinite. Xbox players aren't keeping up on Halo Infinite. So about a year and a half ago they went through a major um leadership overhaul, and they've been really trying to figure out how seasons are going to work because everything is on a
Mhm.
seasonal model now. And starting January 30th, which has already passed by the time you guys hear this, because I think this is coming out mid-February at this point. Um, Halo is going to move to from 3 month seasons to 4 to 6 week operations, which are kind of like quest based multiplayer style. Uh, kind of like what Fortnite does, where like you get this many kills with this gun, revive this many people, or run over this many people with the war, those types of things,
Yeah,
and you get items for those, and cosmetics and whatnot, and then they have special cosmetics that you can buy in the store, or buy the operations pass or whatever, and it's supposed to make the game feel like it's always evolving, always changing, new multiplayer maps, new modes in the multiplayer maps. Also, the
yeah,
implementation of user created Forge maps, which is awesome. Um, and so January 30th is the last day of quote unquote seasons, and they're moving into these operations. And so that overhaul, plus Sea of Thieves, plus ESO, plus Diablo has a huge expansion coming out this year, in Vessel of Hatred, which is now
yes,
Microsoft, right? And that rumored Gears collection, which a lot of people are saying is internal testing right now, and you have that in South of Midnight in these 6 games, right? If I
right.
mean, well, 4 games
Uh,
plus Towerborn and Flight Simulator. I mean,
was it
that's
Wasteland 3? No, Wasteland
Wasteland.
3 came out.
Wasteland 3's been
Oh,
out for like 4 years.
um, it's the survival one that came out where that black woman was in the winter with that zombie bear.
State of Decay.
Yeah, State of Decay
State of
2.
Decay. State of Decay 2 has been out for a while.
Or
State
is
of
it
Decay 3 is not coming out this year. They already Undead Labs confirmed that like
okay?
a couple months ago.
So that's what I brought them up because I remember them showing that trailer 2 or 3 years ago,
Hmm.
and we just didn't get no information
Yeah,
from
they're
it.
still updating State of Decay 2. State of Decay
Okay,
3 is not coming out until at least next summer, I would say, or
okay,
later.
with Perfect Dark.
That's not coming out anytime soon either.
Right, but it is on their first party list, like
Hmm.
State of Decay 3. Like it's
Yeah,
like it's been announced, but it's just on the list of us waiting to get more information.
yeah. I um I have a list. Sorry, my mom texted me for some dumb reason. Not a dumb reason, but a reason that is not helping. Let's see. Hold on. I have a list of what is coming from Xbox actually.
Yes.
Move to there. All right. So here's what I have. Shoot, that's not what I wanted either. Where is this? I had a list of Xbox exclusives, and I don't know where it went.
Yeah, their first party stuff. And yes, everybody we will get to why Nintendo or could Nintendo play a role in it. Because I was telling Corey while watching the developers direct before we did this recording that it really gave me a thought about Nintendo playing a role and just how I personally might see him this year for it. Because let's be honest, Corey, me and you are Xbox and Nintendo gamers. Like
We are.
we play, yes, we both play both systems, in a fair amount, I would say. Like we do our first and third party on both Xbox and Nintendo. We you have a PlayStation 5, which I think is awesome. I don't have one yet, so
Hmm.
I can't
That makes one
really
of
say
us.
much. I can't really say much about Sony, even though Sony is coming out with a bang, where Square Enix is coming out with a bang with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Like
Can I tell
that.
you? Can I tell you something? Or I almost called you Laron. Uh, sorry. Can I was talking to my wife the other day
Mhm.
because like we had this conversation on Pow Block at the end of one of the recent episodes, and I said I really appreciate Nintendo having the hybrid model, right?
Yes.
And I've been really thinking about getting a ROG Ally, except that they're $700. Well, right now they're on sale at Best Buy for 600, but you know what I mean. They're very expensive.
Yes.
Um, I've been I've been toying with the idea of selling my PlayStation 5 to get a ROG Ally
Oh,
because
wow.
I don't care about the PlayStation right now, right? I care about Xbox and I care about Destiny, right? And to have Game Pass and Destiny on the go or on my couch, right? Or
Hmm.
in bed would make such a difference, right? And so I've been toying around with the idea of getting rid of it because I don't play it. And like I would love to play like I'm after I finish Final Fantasy 16, I might I'm seriously might um
Let's just say that you're packing it up, and when you move, it's not coming out the box.
I mean, that's what happened to my PlayStation 4. When we moved here, I
Yeah.
never unpacked my PlayStation 4. And we lived here for 2.5 to 3 years before the Xbox and PlayStation 5 came out. so
Oh wow.
so that should tell you everything.
Yes. Wow. Um. But I I I think okay. So I will have say because I just screamed this all on my Twitter page. Like I gave this developer director A. Um, the only one that I wasn't feeling was Aura. And I know that's more. It's more for a PC crowd and not for me as a console gamer. Um,
I
I'm
thought it
not
looked cool
saying
for I thought that game looked cool for people who like that genre of game.
yes. Our friend Ray, uh, he was just like, "Yeah, I need Aura now." Um,
Mm.
and I was just like, oh, "Okay, that's cool," but I think yeah, it just didn't do nothing for me. I actually had concerns about Indiana Jones when they did first person,
I
because I
know.
know me and you discussed that. We were just like, oh, they do. I'm like, they can't do first person. They got to
I
be
don't
doing third.
I don't like that it's first person, but I think it is. I think it is the right move for two reasons. One, you you avoid the Tomb Raider and Uncharted comparisons
Hmm.
instantly because it's a
Even though
first person game.
even though they still did it anyway.
Yeah, but anyways, you avoid those. Secondly, Machine Games knows how to make a great first person adventure game.
Yes.
And so, as much as I wanted a Tomb Raider or Uncharted version of Indiana Jones, I love Wolfenstein. I think the Wolfenstein series is the best thing that Bethesda does right
Wolfenstein,
now.
Wolfenstein 2 is so good.
Dude, then this trailer made me re-download Wolfenstein 1 and 2.
I do gotta go through one, but 2 is just like
I
oh
played
so perfect. It's so
well,
good.
I played half of 1, right? I played it
Yeah.
on the Xbox 360, which was 4 discs by the way. Um I played it half of it on the Xbox 360, and then I played through Wolfenstein 2 and half of Youngblood on Switch. So I downloaded them on my Series X because um it's the
It's the
Xbox One version. It's the Xbox One version of Wolfenstein New Order, which is the first one.
yes. It's
And
the
then
Wolfenstein collection.
it's part of the Wolfenstein collection, yes, but I have them all separately. Um
Okay, yeah. I brought the Wolfenstein collection I think for like $10.
yeah, the
Uh
alternate history collection was like
yeah,
$12
it
like a
was
week ago
cheap.
or
Yeah,
something.
it was straight cheap. I was just like, and I yeah, because I think
Yeah,
I got all the DLC stuff, and I know
yeah.
I did Wolfenstein 2 on PS4 originally, but I replayed it on Series X and beat it. Now I need to just do one. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry to interfere.
Um yeah, so I re-downloaded the first one on my Series X, and after I finish Super Mario RPG, which you'll be able to hear that book club on Patreon if you're listening, uh
Yes,
whatever the last Sunday in January is, which I think is the 27th. Yeah,
the 28th is the last
20,
Sunday
yeah,
of
that
January.
day. Yes. So you'll be able to hear that on January 28th for patrons, and you'll be able to hear it in February uh for non-patrons. So yeah, I will be playing through that. I also have been playing Prince of Persia. I received a gift, uh, and so I've been playing that on the Xbox. Uh, and I was planning on getting it on Switch, but I was gonna look. I want to play it, and I have this Xbox card sitting here, and might as well use it on that because it looks awesome either
I
way.
I have the physical version for Switch, and we will
Hmm.
be talking about that. Or you'll probably already hear the discussion because we're going to try to get
Hmm.
Grayson Morales, or we did get him on there. Uh, probably by the time you guys see this,
Yeah,
uh, to talk about it. Um, and I'm excited to play it on Switch.
yeah.
I haven't started yet because some other things.
Yeah, I mean, I originally wanted it on Switch, but it fell into my lap on Xbox, and so I'm not gonna say no, you know.
Right.
Uh, so, but yeah, I mean, the
What?
Xbox Developer Direct, I mean, Visions of Mana from Square looks awesome too.
Oh, that game looks beautiful. I
I'm
hit up
shocked they didn't
chat.
put I'm shocked they didn't put any of the Mana games on sale on the other platforms
That's what I was literally expecting.
because
Like I was
I
just
was like, I want to go play Trials of Mana, the remake that came to Switch a couple years ago, right? And it's
yeah.
always that game's always on sale, and it wasn't on sale. I'm like, oh, okay, well,
The collection of mana that came was the only one that came on Switch before Trials of Mana came. And I
hmm
was thinking, oh, Square Enix is gonna drop like I thought they was gonna do like the collection of mana for 1, 2, and 3. I thought they would drop Trials of Mana on Xbox. Like I thought Square Enix was really gonna be like, okay, let's bring the Mana series over to Xbox because I'm like, I hit up Chad Caselmo who works at Square Enix, and I told them I was just like, I'm loving this game. I'm so excited. I can't wait to play it. Um, and I don't know because it's a game. I don't know if Nintendo's gonna get it. I don't know if it's gonna be a Switch game or not. If it's not, I'm perfectly fine getting it on Xbox because the soundtrack is gonna sound good. Um,
I
but
bet
it's
it
just
comes to
like,
Switch. I mean, a game like that
mm-hmm,
is kind of aimed towards. I mean, Japanese audience loves the Mana series, right? I mean, half of them didn't even come
yes,
over here. Um, it would shock me if that game did not come to Switch in some capacity.
yes. But I'm so excited. And I didn't know that they would have Square Enix drop by and say something. Uh,
Nobody did.
like
That was the surprise.
Yeah, I was like, expect the unexpected as always. Uh, but I love that they came in and they talked about it. It looks gorgeous in movement. Uh, and I was just like, I cannot wait to get this game. The only thing is that come on, Square Enix or Microsoft, please make a soundtrack to this. Like, I know y'all can throw it on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever y'all want to, but I'm like, I would buy a digital copy of this soundtrack if the music is good and everything. Because, like, I want to hear it through my Xbox headphones playing this game. Like, I want to be into it and stuff. And I think they said summer 2024 for this game.
Yep, summer.
So yeah, that'd be a good that it feels right for a summer game. Um, with that and everything. Uh, so I mean, Corey, how did you feel like after you see everything outside of you writing like the rundown and everything? Like, did you come impressed? Just be like, man, they really brought it.
I mean, I'm always impressed by Xbox's presentations. They are the masters of hype, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's because like the audience is just so full of like people who root for the underdog, or we've just been waiting for so long to play first party games on Xbox that aren't called Gears or Halo or Forza, that like
Yeah.
seeing these other games is just like, oh my gosh, finally we're seeing something. We're seeing something meaningful. We're seeing something different and new, and it's and like, the summer their summer showcase last year was, I mean, they kicked off with amazing games, they ended with amazing games. They ended with Starfield, which, you know is good or bad depending on how you feel about Bethesda games, right? Like, people who
Yeah.
like Bethesda games think it's amazing, other people not so much. Whatever. I thought it was fine for what it was, but that developer direct was extremely hype. Um, and this developer direct was extremely hype. Last year's was they have become the masters of showcases.
Yes.
Um, I mean, they made Redfall seem exciting. What 2 years ago, right? Like,
When it
they ended their summer showcase on that Redfall CG trailer that was
Yes. Yes.
amazing, and I was like, yes, let's do this. And then that leaked footage of it came out that was like third person. It kind of looked like The Division, and I got really excited because I love The Division. Um, and some of their games hit, like Hi-Fi Rush and Forza, and I
Mhm.
mean Starfield was a financial hit for them. Um, and then some don't, like Redfall, or Pentiment didn't hit for them, but that's because it was a $15 Game Pass experiment. It wasn't like the System Seller or Grounded, or you have those games, but then you have things that are coming that people are looking so forward to, like Fable looks amazing. Um,
Yes.
Hellblade looks amazing.
Fable looks amazing.
Everything upcoming looks incredible.
Fable looks amazing from a CG perspective, like in-game engine perspective. It's not. It's there's no gameplay yet. I think we'll
There
see
was
more of
gameplay
that.
in that
At
trailer.
I don't think so.
There was. They confirmed it.
I
Digital
I
Foundry
I
confirmed it too. So
I I think we'll get gameplay. I think we'll get real gameplay at the Summer Game Fest this year.
Sure, but there's gameplay in that trailer.
I
Digital
will agree
Foundry
to
confirmed it.
disagree.
I'm listening to Digital Foundry over you. Sorry.
Yeah.
They get paid to make those kind of calls. You don't. So I trust them.
I mean, that is true. Well, they got the tech for that. But yeah, I just feel like I think it's mostly that we're finally getting our return on our investment from this new system. Ever since it released and they were just like experience new worlds and all the marketing buzz and all of that.
I
I think
mean,
they're trying to
I'm going to be.
finally deliver.
Can I be honest with you? I don't think there's a reason, except for the. If you like your games running better, then yes, there's a reason. I
Mhm.
don't think there's a reason to own the Xbox or the PlayStation 5 right now. And it's been what we're on our fourth year of these consoles.
Yes.
There is absolutely no software reason to own these consoles right now, in my opinion.
Yes. Yes.
I mean,
Um,
you could argue maybe Spider-Man for PS5.
Returnal, I would say yes before it went to PC. I would say yes for Kojima's game. Why do I keep thinking of Death Door and it's not
Death
that
Stranding is
game?
on
Death
PS4.
Stranding. Oh
Death
yeah.
Stranding is a PS4 game. That's what I'm saying. These games are on PS4. So like there's no I mean
No, because I thought Death Stranding
Returnal is not on PS4, but
before.
what I'm saying is like the system sellers are all on PS4
Yes.
except for Insomniac's games of all games, right? Like
Yeah, because I thought Death Stranding was getting a PS5 version.
it
Why did
has
I
a
think
PS5
that?
version, but it's on
Oh,
PS4.
PS4. Yes.
So, I mean, but still, even if like I don't know. I feel like we're finally entering a year where it's worth having these consoles. Not that
Since
like I mean I will
and
buy every Xbox and Nintendo console day one, right? But like
right.
from a general user perspective, I don't think there's a reason to own these consoles right now unless you just like want to have them.
And I think they probably haven't made this connection or anything, but this is what the GameCube and Nintendo 64 went through with from first party wise with their games. Switch didn't have to do this because Switch, ever since the Switch came out, they have been about five, whether it's ports or whatever, new games, whatever. There have
But
been
you can make that
five
argument for
plus.
the Switch too, except for nobody owned the Wii U.
Well, yeah,
Breath of the Wild was on Wii U. Mario Kart is a port. Splatoon 2 is essentially Splatoon 1 with like
yeah,
a couple new maps. ARMS
yeah.
is not a system seller, right? What's your
But
first
ours
major
did come out.
exclusive?
But I mean, I'm not even speaking about the major kind of exclusive. I'm just talking about the release of games,
I
like
mean,
with
I
Switch, like the N64 struggled because all they had was Mario 64 and Pilot Wings.
yeah,
Like
but
you weren't getting
the
first.
difference is Mario 64 was not on the Super Nintendo.
Oh yes, that's what I mean. But I'm just like
Pilot
at
Wings
that
was not on the
time.
Super Nintendo, right?
Well, Pilot Wings 64 was, and Pilot Wings was on Super
Well,
Nintendo, but the
whatever, shut up.
sequel.
Yeah.
No,
Wayne
but what I'm
Gretzky's 3D
saying.
hockey was not was not
Oh
on the
goodness.
Super Nintendo.
Oh,
Maybe shouldn't have
did
been on
Wayne
the
Gretzky?
N64 either.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even know he had a game.
Yeah, he has two of them.
So-
I
oh
had them
no!
both.
Oh no!
It was the third game I
No.
bought on N64 was Wayne Gretzky's 3D hockey, and then I turned around the next year and bought Wayne Gretzky's 3D hockey 99. So
Oh wow. No, but I'm just saying that people had to wait for games to come to that system, and that happened with. That's what I said from the Nintendo perspective. That happened with the N64, definitely with the release of Pilot Wings and Mario and everything.
mhm.
And with GameCube, like they were just so much waiting for games from a first party perspective to hit it. Switch didn't have that. Because like I said, even with ports and new games, they were bringing games out consistently. Like you have a big first party library. Yeah, pretty much 95% of the Wii U library is on Switch, but there's new IPs and there are some sequels from existing IPs on Switch. So we were Nintendo was filling the system with games for their system. So the investment, yeah, you got the investment from Zelda and everything. Uh, but then there was more investments to have on the system because more games and more anticipated and wanted games were coming out. And then when you started seeing indie and third party making the splash and PC games making the splash on Switch, you were just getting abundantly fed great titles on
Mhm.
Switch. And
Yeah.
I think with Series X is that people, even me, I'm guilty of this. I was expecting games to really come out of Microsoft and third party to really hit the Series X or even PlayStation to get those systems going because they were the new thing on the block. We got the marketing buzz. The systems were selling out and everything. And yes, this happened during the pandemic and everything. Um, but you would expect that with all the companies and developers and stuff that were making games for the system, you thought a lot would come out, and it didn't happen that way. So a lot of the 360 and Xbox One games, just for Xbox, really filled the void on for gamers playing on Series X. Now that it's been 4 years since the games since the system's been out, there's a possibility we're going to start getting a flood of great first party titles.
Yeah.
And
Well,
both developers direct feel that.
I mean, the thing is, between Bethesda and Activision Blizzard King and Xbox Game Studios internally, like Microsoft owns 36 studios. I really wish I
Yeah.
could find that list because it was a great list. Hold
Yeah.
on. I
And
I have it somewhere. Hold on. Just um
well, the reason why we're bringing this to
all right, here it
expansion
is.
pass and what Nintendo has um is that we're going to discuss it after Corey give us this list.
Yeah, so man, I could really use some water right now. Hmm. Okay. So I'm gonna go down the list of games that Xbox has in development, supposedly, and this is confirmed and or reported on with sources. So 343 is working on a new Halo project along with Halo Infinite multiplayer. The Coalition is working on Gear 6, and they had a new IP in development. It's either been shelved or a small team is working on it because it's all hands on deck for Gear 6. Um, World's Edge is working on Age of Mythology Retold, which is a remake of the first Age of Mythology game. Compulsion Games is working on South of Midnight and an unannounced project. Double Fine is working on a new IP. Xbox Game Studios Publishing, which is their second party publishing arm. Flight Simulator 2024 from Asobo. Aura History Untold from Oxide Games. Contraband from Avalanche. Um, Halo Project Tatanka from Certain Affinity, although recent stories have come out and said that that project may have been shelved as well, and Certain Affinity has been recruited to work on the next Halo multiplayer project in general. Project OD from Kojima, Project Dragon from IO Interactive, Project Maverick from People Can Fly. For those who don't know, their last game was Outriders, which was an amazing third person shooter that people make fun of me for liking for some reason. Um,
And those games are like something that Microsoft is going to be publishing. They're
yeah, they're
helping with
publishing. They're
development,
second
correct?
party games. So like a studio that
Okay.
uh I don't know if
Like
people know the difference between first party, second party, and third party. Uh maybe
they don't own
right.
them, but they're working on
First
IP for
yes.
Microsoft.
first party would be like Nintendo owns Nintendo R&D, they own Intelligent Systems, they own Retro Studios. All those studios make games for Nintendo, and Nintendo owns those studios, right?
Mm-hmm.
Second party studio would be like Mercury Steam for Metroid Dread, right? Uh, Nintendo doesn't own Mercury Steam, but they contracted them to make a Metroid game exclusively for the Switch, and Nintendo published it, and Mercury Steam made a lot of money, and hopefully a future partnership is made because that game was incredible. And then third party would be like if EA or Activision or Ubisoft or any indie game came and just made a game and went to Nintendo and said, "Hey, we want to put this on your console." Nintendo gives them a dev kit. Nintendo makes 30% off the top. The
Mm-hmm.
developer gets the rest. Everybody makes money and is happy, hopefully.
And the third party, they're the ones that also publish their own games, publish
Yeah,
and develop their own games.
yeah. Usually third party games are multi-platform. There are rare exclusive. There are rare instances where third party games are also exclusive by choice. It seems that some people, nobody really knows, but we'll just use Final Fantasy 16 as an example. There have not been any real official announcements, but there have been reports that Sony paid them to make that game exclusive. Uh, so that would be like a weird third party exclusive, right? But
Mm-hmm.
um, the timed exclusive, I guess. So, but did you see those reports, by the way, that Final Fantasy VII remake might finally be coming to Xbox?
No, not yet. Or anything.
Man. Um, but anyways, the initiative was working on Perfect Dark with Crystal Dynamics. Um, In Exile's working on Clockwork Revolution and an unannounced release, which a lot of people think is Wasteland 4. Mo Yang is working on Minecraft and a new project, which is probably Minecraft related. Ninja Theory is working on Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, and Project Mara. Obsidian is working on Avowed, The Outer Worlds 2, Grounded updates, and Project 4. There was a report last year that they had 7 games in development at one point. And they wanted to release one game a year over the course of the next 7 years, which last year would have been Pentiment. So theoretically, there's
Mm-hmm.
still 6 games in development. Playground Games is working on Fable and inevitably a Forza Horizon 6. Rare is working on Everwild and Sea of Thieves updates. Turn 10 is working on Forza Motorsport updates. Undead Labs is updating State of Decay 2 while working on State of Decay 3. So that's Xbox Game Studios. Bethesda, on the other hand, Bethesda's working on Starfield DLC, and the Elder Scrolls 6. Arcane Leon is working on Marvel's Blade, which looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Arcane Austin, which did Redfall, is working on a new project. id Software is working on. We know it is probably Doom Year One, which is from that leaked document from like a year ago. That kind of leaked their roadmap pre-COVID, I guess it would have been. Machine Games is working on Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. And the rumor is their other project is either Wolfenstein 3 or the new Quake game. Somebody's working on Quake. It might be Machine Games. It might be id. We aren't sure. I really hope Machine Games is working on Wolfenstein 3. Because they promised us Wolfenstein 3.
Yeah.
ZeniMax Online is working on that new Elder Scrolls Online expansion called Gold Road, I think is what they ended up calling it, and a
Yeah.
new MMO project. Tango Gameworks is the most interesting one. They have 2 projects in the works. One, people assume it's The Evil Within 3, and the other project is rumored to be a JRPG
That's
exclusive to
interesting.
Xbox. So we'll find out about that.
I wonder if
Uh,
they I wonder if Ghostwire Tokyo's going to get a sequel in the future, or that was just a one and done.
I don't know. That game, I think that game, I need to play that game still. I've heard people say good things about it, but I also heard people say it's boring, so I don't know either way.
It gets a little bit repetitive. It was a good game. I mained it on Series X,
Hmm.
because it was like on a cheap sale. So just like,
Yeah.
you know what, I'll play it all the way through, and I enjoyed myself with it. I think it gets
Um,
boring once you guys start doing the collectible stuff, but like when you start playing the game, you be like, okay,
yeah. Roundhouse Studios is working on an unannounced game, and Alpha Dog, which is Bethesda's mobile studio, is working on Mighty Doom. And I think Roundhouse actually just announced that Elder Scrolls Castles game. Uh, it's from the developers of Fallout Shelter.
mm,
So there's that as well. And then we have Activision Blizzard King. Uh, Infinity Ward, I just have Call of Duty written here because, of course, they are. But also, they supposedly have some sort of third person RPG in development, which would be
that'd be
interesting.
interesting.
Treyarch is working on Call of Duty 2024, which is so unsecretively called Black Ops Gulf War. Sledgehammer is working on a new project. Um, Raven is working on Call of Duty Warzone. And then I have High Moon working on Call of Duty support, which is sad. Beanox is working on an unannounced release. Toys for Bob is working on an unannounced release. Now, Beanox and Toys for Bob are two, I think, Nintendo fans and Xbox fans in particular should be looking at. Because one of them is working on a new Spyro game, which would be
Hmm.
Spyro 4. And the other one is rumored to be working on an Xbox IP, which dollars to donuts, I would say, would be Banjo. Because there's been Banjo.
Banjo
Because last
or
year there was a report that a studio that Microsoft had acquired or was looking to acquire was working on a Banjo title.
I wonder if it's also they also had a cartoon for it. It was the Connect one. Was it Connect?
Viva Pinata.
Viva Pinata.
Dude, if Microsoft was smart, they would put Viva Pinata out as a free to play game with some sort of Pinata pass, seasonal pass, and they would just make that their Animal Crossing.
I can see that. I mean, they could
Dude, Viva
also use it
Pinata
as.
is the easiest layup for money, like another piece of cash and
Mhm.
revenue stream for them.
I mean, it could also just be. I mean, gameplay wise, like a third person, like Mario Odyssey kind of
No,
game. Yeah,
they don't.
a
They don't need
third
that. They have enough of that. They have Crash. They have Spyro. They have Banjo. They have Conquer. Use those. They don't need another one. Viva Pinata
for.
is their answer to Animal Crossing.
I think it's
Everybody play Viva Pinata on Xbox. It's backwards compatible. It's $10. It's also on Game Pass. Just play it.
does Microsoft even have a sim game?
Viva Pinata. No. Active? No. Unless you want to count Disney Dreamlight Valley, which is also on Game Pass.
Oh no. Uh,
God, Disney
but
Dreamlight Valley. The new Star Path starts on January 24th.
you're excited? Yes.
I don't know what it is,
Well,
but it's going to be awesome.
yeah. So with all that stuff coming to Xbox current and in the future, the reason why how Nintendo from a Nintendo perspective, I was telling Corey that I feel like Nintendo could this is a year that Nintendo could sit back and be a supportive studio
I wasn't
to
done with my list, but
Xbox.
that's okay.
Are you sure? Is there more?
Yeah.
I thought you did 36.
No, I have four more. They
Oh, go
don't really.
ahead.
There's nothing really to say though. Bizarre Creations is working on an unannounced release. Solid State Studios is has been consolidated into a support studio. Uh Blizzard is working on Diablo 4, Vessel of Hatred, Overwatch 2 expansion and restructure. And then the rumor is Blizzard is also working on a StarCraft game that is not an RTS. So everybody who remembers StarCraft Ghosts, everybody put that on your bingo card for being announced at BlizzCon this year.
Someone was just like to bring StarCraft 64 to Xbox. I'm like, that's not what that happened.
All right. So, and also, like, here are the live service games that Xbox has in motion right now, Ed. Halo Infinite, Sea of Thieves, Minecraft, Forza Motorsport, Elder Scrolls Online, Fallout 76, which is getting a big update this year, State of Decay 2 and 3, Overwatch, World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, Diablo 4. Plus, they have major mobile games like Candy Crush, Farm Hero Saga, Pet Rescue Saga, Bubble Witch Saga, Diamond Diary Saga. They have Call of Duty Mobile. They have Crash Bandicoot on the Run. They have Diablo Immortal. They have Hearthstone. They have Warcraft Rumble. They have Elder Scrolls Elder Scrolls Castle, and they have Fallout Shelter. Are their mobile games? Somebody tell me that Microsoft is not successful in the gaming space. No offense, but somebody tell me that they're not successful.
I don't think they're successful. I think they really are successful. I think it's just we're not seeing
because their success isn't on Xbox means they're not successful.
Oh no. I think it's just that we're not seeing the products that comes out from them to claim that they're successful. Like I always said, that they got all of these studios and a lot of those games are not out for it. But that was the past 4 years. I think that developer direct has kind of changed it. And if they could get those just 4 or even 5 games out this year for Microsoft, that would be a good track saying that um now we could see the system moving. Now we could see that success of the system and everything. Um and I think if we think about success, Nintendo is a big example because of all the games that they put out up until now has been a major success, and that showcases with all the games, all the software that they put out showcases that success. So they're successful. Nintendo's successful in their own way because they have showed us with all the games that they brought out and the record numbers fit for physical sales and everything. And that's what people want to see from Microsoft to see that success. But I'm like, you guys got to realize Microsoft is really successful in the digital age than the physical age. Like, no joke. They're making party money over fist. They just beat Apple as being the most financial successful, or
they're the most they're like, I don't know how to describe it. They financially they are worth more than Apple at this point. And it's like the first time it's like the first time in like 5 years that Apple wasn't the top whatever. It's because they announced their big security thing, but then they just got hacked. So I don't know.
Wow.
Look, Microsoft security is not great. We just talked about it where I work because I work for a tech analysis company, and so our news shows, we just talked about their big kind of security. We've been talking about it for like 6 months, how bad their security is. So yeah, hope they don't want to come to security field day.
But like, I think Nintendo this year, because I said last year, Nintendo could sit back, and I was hoping that Microsoft or Sony would be the big focus. But right now, and they just wasn't. I'm sorry to say they just wasn't. Nintendo was running 2023 with their first party games and all the stuff that's coming. Now I feel like with the rumor of a new system coming for Nintendo, I feel like they could fall back. Yeah, we could still get ports and we could still get important first party games, but the reason I feel like they could be a big support to Microsoft is that Microsoft games needs to be the big focus for first party games, while Nintendo's first party, yes, it is. It's a focus for the Nintendo community, but for gamers in general, I think Nintendo would just be fine to be like, yeah, we're putting the game out. If you guys buy it, you buy it. If you don't, we're gonna try to market to make you guys to get you guys to buy it. But Microsoft, oh, Hellblade's coming out. I got Princess Peach. I got Luigi's Mansion 2. I did all of these games, and this led up to a big anticipated game. Great. I did the big anticipated game, finished it. Oh, Nintendo got some more stuff to fill in. Cool. Let me buy those. Oh, bam. Indiana Jones is coming out, dropping. Big game. Let me cop that. That's the kind of support I think Nintendo should do or could do in 2024. Um, and I will perfectly be fine with it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel that way, Corey, but like, what do you think about that?
I mean, I think Nintendo, especially if you're not looking forward to their new console this year, like, I mean, yes, we're all looking forward to the new console, but if you're not looking to get it this year or you can't afford it this year because money is really hard to come by these days, I think this is a good supplemental year for Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've talked about that before already, right? Like, we don't know what's coming beyond, probably Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door, and that's a remake. That's a remake, right? Luigi's Mansion 2 is a remake. Princess Peach Showtime is a double A experience at best.
Yeah.
Mario plus or Mario vs Donkey Kong is a remake. Another Code Recollection is a collection of remakes, right? Like this,
Which we
we
have to talk about. When I found out who the developer was, I'm
oh,
like,
Arc System Works,
wait,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Um,
because that connects
I
to our story 2 weeks ago, from this recording.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just I think Nintendo Nintendo's 2024 is a remake heavy year, right? Because they are
Mm-hmm.
prepping their big new software for their next console because they think they saw, like we kind of talked about earlier, their software, like the first year of the Switch, the first 10 months of the Switch was so strong in terms of software. It's arguably the best first year of any console, maybe
Yeah.
ever. Breath of the Wild, you know, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Splatoon, a new Xenoblade game, a new Mario game, Fire Emblem Warriors, Mario plus Rabbids was a great surprise, new IP in ARMS, plus we got a bunch of third-party support towards the end of the year with Skyrim and Wolfenstein and
The talks of indies became big because,
indies.
like,
Well,
like
I mean that
Hades.
the conversation of indies shifted from Vita to the Switch, right? Like that was
Yeah.
the big conversation. And like, I mean the Vita didn't sell good, but a lot of people love to play indies there because that handheld experience for indies is so preferred. And I think the Vita proved that to some extent and now the Switch the Vita walks so the Switch could run, right, with the
Right.
indie scene.
And the indie scene kind of changed because they seen indies seen the double dip business big time, because not only were people buying their games digitally on Switch or maybe other places, when we seen that a physical version was coming out from limited run, limited super games or whatever,
Hmm.
people were double dipping. So
I
businesses were
mean,
starting up and becoming and profiting because people were getting those physicals along with those digital games during
yeah,
that
I
time
mean,
with the Switch.
between Nicholas and who was the other really big developer those first couple years that were just publishing indie after indie. Team 17, I think, was one of them.
T17, I
I
am
mean,
8-bit.
that's why Team 17 blew up, is because of the Switch indie scene.
Yeah.
Team 17, what? Okay, we're gonna put another Worms game out. Okay, whatever. but like you ended up seeing them put out, Ukulele physically, and
Mm-hmm.
I think Brawlhalla ended up getting a physical release from them. Uh,
Like Platonic hit it big
yeah, dude,
with
Platonic, like,
ukulele.
um, I think Team 17 published uh Blossom Tales 2 right recently. So
Yeah.
like they ended up becoming pretty big too.
And I know Yacht Club was big during the Wii U, but they just like
I mean, they took
literally
off.
expanded.
I mean, Shovel
Yeah,
Knight, I mean, they took off on Switch because all the expansions started coming there, right? I mean, that's where I
yeah.
played Spectre of Torment, which arguably, I mean, not arguably, laughably is their best experience. The Yacht Club's best experience by far is
But
Spectre of Torment, um, which everybody should go play, by the way. I actually just re-downloaded Shovel Knight onto my Xbox
mhm,
because I want to play through not just Shovel Knight again, but Spectre of Torment. That's a game I think about constantly as well. Um,
yeah, and I think a lot of startup companies, indie wise, uh, came to like just blew up on Switch and stuff. And I kind
yeah,
of feel like
we should
that's
we should put a pin in this indie conversation and save it for the next expansion pass.
yeah, we can.
Yeah, so put a pin in it because which is ironically, we're gonna hit stop on this recording and record another one right after this.
Yeah.
But to bring it all back around to the Switch real quick, I think the indie game conversation on Switch is fascinating. And I want to have a real conversation instead of shoving it into the last 10 minutes of an episode. Um,
Okay.
but to wrap it back around to the Switch, like 2024 you're gonna see a lot of ports. You're gonna see a lot of remakes and remasters from Switch. I'm sure by the time this comes out, the Nintendo Direct will have happened or is
Hmm.
happening soon, and we'll know all of Metroid Prime 2 and 3 remastered will be coming out, I'm sure. Um I'm sure some sort of Zelda remaster is coming soon. I still think at least one of those games is coming this year, Wind Waker or Twilight Princess. My bet would be Twilight Princess, honestly, because they are renewing those amiibo in Canada, the Twilight Princess ones.
Yeah, there's been a lot of amiibo talk.
So
I know
I
the
know
Xenoblade Chronicles
I got mine.
amiibo.
I've snagged them.
Where did they sell them like at Target and stuff? Are they like on store
I
shelves now?
mine. Well, they came out. What's today? Saturday. They came out Thursday,
Hmm.
and I ended up getting mine through Best Buy and having them shipped to my house. So they will be here this coming week. But yeah, I got Noah and Mio, which I'm very excited for.
Okay.
I still need to get Pyra and Mithra though, and I still don't have them. I'm gonna play through those 3 games this year, by the way. I guess
Oh, you're gonna
5 games. Um,
love Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Like, I don't
I
know
know
how you're gonna feel about the story or the gameplay and stuff, but the story is so good. And when people said they wanted Nintendo to produce a mature or like a deep narrative story, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 delivers on that
it's
so much.
it's so funny because I started listening to this new podcast, and they were talking about Xenogears and the legacy of Monolith, right? And they were talking a lot about Xenogears and how like Gene Park from the Washington Post was on this episode, and he was
Hmm.
talking about how he really loves Xenogears and how he either interviewed the producer of this game or it was some sort of story where the developer of the original Xenogears games is still working on the Xenoblade Chronicles games, and that Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is the culmination and the actual finished story of of Xenogears because Xenogears came out unfinished. Um, and so did
Yeah.
Xenosaga 3, uh, ironically. Um, and
Yeah, the
That's why,
Xenosaga game was supposed to be 6 games.
yeah,
For the
and that's
story.
why Bandai Namco sold them to Nintendo, because Nintendo needed a JRPG studio, and they bought them for like pennies on the dollar, and we got an amazing Xenoblade Chronicles trilogy plus Xenoblade X. But anyways, he was talking about how essentially Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is everything he wanted to do in Xenogears and never got to do, to the point where like he named the main character, his name is Noah, and the code name for Xenogears was Project Noah.
Wow, did not
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah. And Mio is a reference to something within Xenogears also. There's a lot of like, apparently there's like over 30 references to Xenogears in Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
I'm sorry, Nitty needs to speak to Square Enix about getting that on their
It's
next platform.
Xenogears is published by Sony though. That's the problem.
I thought Square Enix published
They
it.
developed it. Sony published it because this was Square.
Really?
Well, this was Square Soft, and this was why Final Fantasy VII never left the console for a long time. Is because, remember, Sony published Final Fantasy VII on the PlayStation.
But I didn't know Sony published Xenogears. I thought Square Enix, because
Sony published all of Square's games on the PlayStation 1.
Really? I wonder, is that a deal or something that they had after they left Nintendo?
It must have been.
That's news to me. I'd never known that.
Yeah. If you boot up any Final Fantasy game on the PlayStation 1, you will see the Sony splash screen first. The Sony Computer Entertainment of America, or whatever it was at the time.
I'm at the wow. Okay. So. Well, Corey, you want to wrap it up? So
yeah, because we got another one of these to record, and I need some water real bad.
Okay. Well, yes, I know everybody. We talked a lot about the developer direct, but I say go and watch it if you have not seen it. And yeah, let us know what you guys think about Nintendo being a big having a support library this year instead of being a focus. I really would love to hear about it. With that, everybody, have a great week, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time on Nintendo Expansion Pass. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye. If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network and our family of podcasts.